Alright, it's been 6 months since I've seriously started taking up drawing, and I finished another sketchbook. And in this video, I want to show you guys what I've been working on, all the drawings that I've done, and see if there was any serious progress made. Alright, so here's my sketchbooks. This one is the one that I just completed, and then this one I've had for a number of years. And I got halfway through it a couple years ago when I was trying to learn how to draw, and then I got discouraged because I realized how much there really is to getting good at drawing. I don't know if you guys ever heard of like the Dunning-Kruger effect, but that basically happened to me, where I was super confident. Oh, I've always had an affinity for drawing, I'm gonna do really well. And then you actually start getting into it, you actually start learning all the ins and outs of the subject, and then you realize that you're not as good as you thought you were. So basically I got this a while ago, did a number of drawings, started learning perspective, different things like that, and then didn't get back to it until I restarted my art journey 6 months ago. So you'll see some drawings from a while ago, and then I'll show you also the drawings that I've done when I picked up drawing again back in December, beginning of December, late November, and then all the way up to May. So let me just show you that really quick. So this was the first thing that I did in this sketchbook, and like I said, this is from a number of years ago, and then you can see I wanted to learn perspective. Not the best, but I was just trying to understand the concept of it. And then I did some more practice with like 2-point perspective here, 1-point perspective, and then I was like, oh, I'm gonna do some hands here, all of that. And then I drew this guy and this guy right here, and I wasn't happy with it, and I kept going with drawing, and it kind of just fizzled out. So maybe some of you guys can relate to that, but that's basically what happened. And I did a number of drawings, but I want to show you where I picked up drawing again. So I started back up right here. So I just tried to draw someone from reference, and I thought it was okay. Just some more quick sketches. I was just trying to really get some mileage in and draw every day. I think this is from a Studio Ghibli movie, I'm not sure. I think this one is from a Studio Ghibli movie. I don't know which one. And then let's see. Then I drew this one from reference. I just paused it basically. Paused the show at a shot that I liked and see how well I could do it. There's a bug. So yeah, I love Avatar: The Last Airbender. It's like it's one of my favorite shows. So I always like doing some references from them. I love the art style. Just some more sketches from reference. And like I said, these were done back in November. So late November, early December. Unfortunately, I didn't date these pages in the sketchbook, and I wised up and I started putting dates on every page in the other sketchbook that you'll see. So yeah, right here I started practicing perspective and making things 3D forms. This was another thing from reference. Another Avatar reference. Just a quick sketch of a ninja. This one I was super happy with. I don't know if you guys know Fish Hat Bob. He has a super funny story with TikTok, but basically some guy approached him at a mall, and he sold the guy that approached him a fish hat that he was wearing. So I drew Fish Hat Bob, and I think I got his little lazy eye pretty good. In this one, I like this shot of it was a video of a guy hiking in Jordan, actually, in the desert. So I wanted to draw that. I just kind of paused the screen, paused the video where I liked it, and tried to draw. So I thought this one was pretty good. And then again, I like drawing kung fu poses, so you'll see that throughout the sketchbooks. I'm just gonna kind of go through. A lot of these are just quick sketches. Early on when I started this art journey, I was only doing maybe 15 minutes a day. So a lot of these are just quick sketches at the end of the day when I was tired, just trying to get some mileage in. Some pages, barely anything. This was another reference, practicing perspective. I think this was a storyboard from like a Studio Ghibli movie, or it must have been from Spirited Away. Yeah, it was a storyboard from Spirited Away. This one, I just try to practice perspective. This one was really bad. I think this one was from imagination, drawing Bobby Lee. Yeah, a lot of these I just kind of gave up on them. I didn't draw this. This drawing I actually did from imagination. I was proud of it at that time because I was trying to test myself on how to draw certain animals and then also perspective and draw the scene all together. So I was happy with it at the time, but now looking at it, I see a lot of different mistakes there. Quick sketches. This one was from reference. Usually the ones that look better, they're from reference. This one was from reference. I can draw from reference a lot better now, that's for sure. I do like drawing camels and like Middle Eastern scenes. So I'm kind of flipping through this one quick. These were just some that I did at the beginning. And these were all within about a month's time. I think that's Chris Brown. Tried to draw Gollum, didn't really look like him. Tried to draw him again. It looks like him, but he looks kind of weird. Kept practicing circles, more confident circles, cubes. Started drawing with a pen here a little bit. Mannequinization. This was Drawbox. And these are just my sketchbooks. I have so many practice sheets that have just me practicing a lot of boxes, cylinders, just warm-up sheets. So this is just my sketchbook. This is just what I put in my sketchbook. This is a Studio Ghibli, Spirited Away. Another reference. This is where I started to get I started feeling a little bit more confident with my lines. That's Peter Hahn. That's not the best. So that's pretty much this sketchbook. Now this is the new one that I got at the end of January, I believe. Let me see. So yeah, February is when I started the sketchbook. And I wanted to start off pretty strong, and you'll see at the beginning of the sketchbook, I started off pretty strong. So I just sat in the living room and I drew the couch and the stand, the lamp right there with just a Bic pen, and did some little bit of shading with it. But yeah, so this was the end of January. This is when Trump got elected. This was from a reference. It is crazy looking back at it now, just some of the mistakes that I've made now that I know how to shade better. This was practice with perspective. This was a figure drawing. So yeah, you can see that I started off pretty strong, and then you'll see later that this sketchbook ended up turning into just, quick sketches. And yeah, but a lot of these beginning drawings, I took my time on them. This one was a good test of trying to draw from memory. So I saw this guy at the airport, and then about an hour later, I tried to recall the prominent features of his face and then draw it from a different angle. And then this was a guy that I saw on the plane. Messed up on the perspective here. This is a Kim Jong-gi reference that I really liked, the Batman and Joker. This is actually a drawing of my wife, but it doesn't look like her. I messed up on her face, like her chin and mouth area. Some people are really easy to draw because they have prominent bold features, and then some people it's difficult because one little tweak could make it look like it's not them at all. Some more references, and then this was the start of lesson 2 for Drawbox. So this is where we started practicing, like contour lines and construction, organic forms. This was texture. So you had to study different textures, what makes texture look like texture, which is basically just really small forms, shading. And then you could see here, practicing that. This one was I remember a pretty quick sketch at night before bed. Form intersections. This is a really difficult exercise, really helpful, understanding perspective, and if you just want to get better at drawing in general, this is a really good exercise. Another photo drawing from reference. And then I started figure drawing fundamentals course from Proco. So this is where I started doing gestures. That's the first part of the course. So that was really helpful. Just trying to capture the gesture of whatever reference it is, the figure, as quickly as you can. And then this page is where I had a breakthrough moment where I was always kind of learning it through Drawbox and just some of the other videos that I was watching on drawing. But for some reason right here, I don't know what day this was, but right here, this is when I had a breakthrough moment, and really everything can be just put in a box, and it helps you just place everything on the page in a way that's believable and it looks like a 3D space on your paper. And this was from Broken Draw. I think that was the moment really when he stacked the 2 boxes on top of each other and said, hey, this is basically a car. And then you just add the details on top of those primitive forms. So this was super helpful. And I kind of knew it already. I knew those things, but for some reason, this just kind of changed everything. And I was able to apply that knowledge, and I feel like after that, my drawings just got a lot better. I mean, you guys will be the judge of that, but at least I can conceptualize drawings a lot better and like references, right? So when you look at a reference, you want to think of them in the most basic 3D form, 3D shape, and then you'll be able to put that on the paper in a believable way. And then that's when I really started practicing those exercises here. And then all the while, I'm still taking the Proco figure drawing course. So this was some of the exercises where you had to mannequinize animals. So like you can see here, I mannequinized a camel, an ape, doing some more. These were from imagination after the first mannequinization of the camel. And then I just kept going. So those were some of the exercises from that course. Practicing circles. Some more animals here. And then this is when we got on to actually drawing figures. This was the landmark section. And then these were references from real life. Drawing motos, drawing more figures. This is a reference to Bruce Lee. And I do want to highlight, so with my red colored pencil, I draw the basic mannequin, and then on top of that with a darker, with pencil, but much darker, I'll do the contours and then emphasize the landmarks, which was part of the assignment for that section. And this is the robo bean. I do have a ton of practice sheets for these exercises too, where we did the robo bean a ton, but I put some in my sketchbook. Practicing lines. So pretty boring stuff. This one was a drawing I did at night. Bruce Lee, I love Bruce Lee. This is from reference. I thought that one was pretty good. More gestures. This one, just trying to draw from where I was sitting in my bed. And then what's the date? Where are we at? So this is April. So more figures. Drew this at a cafe. It was all right. For some reason, I have such a hard time drawing my wife. That does not look like her. I think this was from a live stream from Broken Draw. I like those guys. You drew. Just kind of drawing with them. Really, and just really, you can see the repetition of the figures. I think it's good to. That's one of the first things to do is learn how to draw figures. You know, I mean, it's the most interesting subject. It's humans, so drawing figures teaches you a lot too about perspective and just understanding, like understanding dynamic posing, all of that. Some pages are blank. More figures. Practicing some exercises, perspective, cubes, subtracting forms from forms. And then this one was from reference. I thought these turned out pretty good, and then this one just was terrible. And then these are some exercises from Kim Jung-gi that I found on YouTube. This one was so bad. This one was not good. And then I just started continuing to draw some more figures from reference with clothes. And then this was another breakthrough moment, I would say. This was at the beginning of May. But right here, so I followed along. You draw the figure and it's basically you're mannequinizing it. Then you just do a direct drawing. And then what I did is, from imagination, I redrew it because I already understood the volumes and the form of the figure. So I redrew it with my own clothes and basically like a frog head. So that was a great exercise. Test what you know. And then the same thing here. So I drew, the mannequin of the reference, drew the reference directly, and then redrew it with my own character. And then these are from references again. You'll see some mistakes there with the leg and the position of the leg and the arm. And then again, like practicing camels, so I drew the reference directly and then also the mannequin. And then I redrew it with a camel head. After I studied the camel head and understood the volumes of the camel head, I was able to basically draw the camel head from imagination and put it on that figure. This is basically blank. I had a rough sketch of the beach here, but I never went over it again. And again, you can see the same thing. So now I can basically draw that camel head from imagination or from memory. And I just kept continuing practicing that. This one was from reference, and then I was following along on this side to a Kim Jung-gi video. And then this one was entirely from imagination. There are some mistakes here, but I thought that turned out pretty good. The ones that I did from imagination at the beginning, I think this one is a lot better. But let me know what you guys think. I think so. And then again, just doing some more exercises with boxes. This is Jackie Chan, but that didn't turn out that well. This one was okay. There's some mistakes there. This is Jackie Chan. There's some proportion issues. Proportion is one of the things that I find challenging right now. This one was a good exercise, so I drew from reference and then mannequinized him. And then what I tried to do was turn that mannequin around and see what it would look like if I was looking at that mannequin from behind. So I drew the mannequin from behind. That was a really good exercise. And I did the same thing with this one. So I drew directly from reference, did a mannequin, and then turned him around. And then this is from the side. And then these are the last few drawings here. This was from 518. This was from reference. I tried to do some like cross hashing for shading. And I thought that one turned out pretty well. And then I wanted to do some really cool, really cool illustration for the last page, but this is what I got. So this is what I did from imagination. And I wanted to add some color. I thought it would be cool for the last page. But there's some issues with it. I'm not the proudest of it, but I thought it turned out pretty well. Let me know what you guys think. I think it's kind of cool. I think it fits the theme. I've been really enjoying drawing camels and like desert scenes, so that's what I got. And I guess this is the last one. This was just another drawing I did from reference. So that's pretty much it. Alright guys, let me know what you think of my progress from the last 6 months. I'm going to keep going. I'm going to keep posting regularly to show my progress and any tips that I find along the way. If you like this content and you like my videos and you find these things helpful, please like and subscribe and comment, and I'll see you guys in the next video.